Good evening. If you would please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If you would please remain standing just for a minute as we remember those that have passed in the defense of our country, both overseas and here, and those locally that have passed as well. Thank you. We're going to begin with a public hearing for the CDBG 2016 application. I need a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Open. Any comments? Public hearing. On the grant application for the CDBG. No? Did you want to say anything, Alan? 2 seconds? Nothing?
I'll just make mention
Just
of it.
two sentences.
The Orange County Consortium, of which Highland Falls is a part of, has approximately $1.2 million for the 2016 grant program. We here in the village are eligible for a portion of it. Last year we applied for some senior funds, and those funds will be in contract probably within the next few weeks. And it's a good program. We're going to be continuing with that program, and hopefully we'll be successful. Last year we got $50,000. This year we're going to ask for substantially more and see if we can bring some more money into the village.
Our goal for this year is the renovation of the village hall, starting with an elevator and moving to, I'm pretty sure that's all we're gonna get if we get enough for the elevator. But if we don't, if we get more, we're actually gonna work on the 3rd floor, because the goal and the thoughts of the board is we wanna make this building much more viable, whether or not it is used after consolidation. If it is not, it can be sold and put towards debt. So either way, we want the building in as best shape as possible, whether it's for use of the village or town or businesses. And I want to thank Al Fusco once again. If you look at the records, we are going after a lot more money over the last couple of years than we've been in a long time, and a majority of that's Al Fusco. And not only are we going for it, we're actually getting it. So I want to appreciate Al for all his efforts. Obviously, Charlie and Gina have made a big hit on the grants as well, but as far as part of the team, Al is making a huge difference in the village.
Thank you.
Thank you, Al. I have a motion to close the public hearing on the CDBG grant for the 2016 application. Motion second.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Closed. Public comment on agenda items. See you later, Al. How's it going?
Thank you.
Liaison, department head reports, police.
I met with Chief Scott, and he was kind enough to go over certain regulations, topics ranging from more support on certain shifts, hiring part-time officers, 2 holding formal meetings with Sergeant Troy and Detective Trophy, and our newest officer to join us in the village is Adam Ricardo. Wednesday, the PBA and officers will be at the library at 5 o'clock to 7, and they're going to be showing a video on rules of the road to help children adjust to riding their bikes, scooters, skateboards, and they're also going to be giving out helmets. I want to thank the PBA. Also want to thank the library, Walk Hill Valley Federal Savings and Loan, Jim DeSalvo, for teaming up and getting us 50 bike helmets for children.
Excellent. Senior Center.
I can do that.
Oh, is Fran here? Nope. Oh, Ken, do you have anything else?
Take it back a little bit up.
Take it back.
Sure.
Roll it back.
I'm sorry. Thanks, Brian, that was nice of you. I just want to piggyback a little bit off the bicycle helmet event that they're going to be doing Wednesday. In conjunction with that, we want to adopt a head injury prevention program to help partner up with not only the parents and the kids, but we want to recognize the kids that are violating it, we wanna give warning notices out, and then the kids that are abiding by the law and the parents, we wanna give them some kind of reward too. I'm gonna make a packet for the board and give it to you, and, I think it'll go really well with this program that the PBA is doing. So that's all I have.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Ken.
Senior?
I attended the meeting and introduced myself as the village liaison. I reminded everyone that the center is open. Senior citizens are meeting every third Tuesday of the month. It was brought to my attention that people think there may be mold in the center. We had a meeting tonight with our engineer. We had talked with Servpro, who went in to clean up, and we also talked with the gentleman who put down the floor. They have both said there is no mold there. Mr. Fusco, who left, is also going to be doing some work, and we're going to be reworking the kitchen, and Mrs. Galou has lots of fantastic ideas. We will all be very stringent about looking for the mold. At this point, we've gone through the documents, there is no mold. So I would like to see people start using that. This Saturday was great, a lot of people showed up, about 50 people, and everyone was happy with the design setup. Simple tours were given, served coffee and desserts. Desserts were really good. Questions were asked about why the Highlanders are not meeting here. It was explained that this group decision is certainly not the village nor the committees. Surveys were completed, popular requests, organized games, bridge, mahjong, bingo, movie night, and trips. The senior center is open Monday, 1 to 3, Tuesday and Thursdays, 10:30 to 2:30, Wednesday to Friday, 12:30. The next trip scheduled is going to be the Grapevine Wreath outside the next event, decorating on the June 25th, and this was submitted by Fran Galou.
Have to, again, thank Fran for putting in a lot of hours to make this happen, and her committee. Now, Brian had mentioned the senior meeting, the third, that's the Highlanders, correct?
Third Tuesday.
Third Tuesday, that's the Highlanders. That does not mean that any group, 2 people, 10 people, 20 people, any group of seniors can utilize the center at any time. There's standard opening times, but if you want to have an event or something else, you just contact Fran Galou and she will make it happen. Okay, we want the senior center used as much as possible. If you, whatever you're doing, please know that it's not just the hours that we mentioned. It is, you know, I know that you want to be there around 3 in the morning. You gotta, I know. It's okay. We're not gonna talk about it. We'll talk about it later. But it's open whenever you want, and you need to understand that. And we appreciate, we got about $100,000 going into it this season. So we're really gonna take the entire area up several notches. Mayor's report. Of course I do.
I had the privilege of going to
Board of
the
Education.
Board of Education, and if you haven't gotten the local paper, you need to get it. What a great article on robotics. Robotics are now part of the music department. They're using it in computers. They're using it to teach logic. They're using it to teach higher forms of mathematics. It was a great, great program. It was just amazing to see it. The board members, some of the board members were asked questions by the robot and they had to answer it, and it was just great. Great things were happening there. So on behalf of the board, I certainly want to thank the faculty, the staff, auxiliary faculty, students, parents, administration for all their hard work. Indeed, the middle school is in transition. There's no doubt about it. I would like us to look at Focus School and put that over here. Let's look at a school in transition. They're doing a great job, a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. And you can tell that. And now we're underneath the leadership. Dr. Shaboy, can you stand, please? Our new superintendent of schools.
Thank you.
Don't sit, because we're gonna transition right into your reports, unless you're not reporting.
Oh, well, yeah, I will start off.
We would like to welcome 2 of the members of the school board and our new superintendent. 3?
No.
Oh, I didn't see, I'm sorry, I didn't see you come in. Excellent, 3 members of the school board. And we love to see the interaction, it's fantastic. So at this time, they have a report for the community.
We don't have enough meetings to attend, so we're going to start coming to your meetings.
Well, we've been going to yours too.
Thank you. So, yes, Tennille and Gus are here, and as well as Dr. Sheboy. And we just wanted to give you an overview of the budget process and where we're at. It's basically a rollover type budget. The numbers are pretty good, and thank you for your kind words, Brian. It was a great demonstration. Our budget numbers are very good. The school district is in very good shape, you know, as compared to other districts that are around. And that's partially due to the impact aid that Tennille has been on top of, going down with Roxanne Donnery and Deborah Jackson taking care of business down there. So we have a proposed budget of $28,181,395, with a budget-to-budget increase of 2.4%. The tax levy increase is 1.4%, which is below the rate of 2%, which is the cap, I believe.
Yep.
So, if you all remember last year, whatever increase was in the budget, we got paid back, we got a refund check from the state, and it's always good to get a refund check from the state. So since we kept below that 2% cap, we were all entitled to that. And that'll happen again this year, because we're doing the same thing. We have a fantastic superintendent of finance, Patrick Cahill, who is on top of it. Some of the budget-to-budget increase in dollars is $668,000. And some of that is due to escalating health insurance costs, you know, brought on by the Affordable Care Act. And we have about a line increase of $145,000 or 6% for next year as well. And so we also, we had good news with the teachers and employees retirement system. We had a decrease of about $381,000. So that was good news. There are a lot of factors that go into our budget. You know, we collect tuition from West Point, from Garrison School District, we have impact aid. There are a lot of variables year to year. So we're very fortunate when things work out in our favor, and that's the way it's been. So some of the key dates coming up this Thursday, May 7th, we have a budget hearing. That'll be at the library if anybody wants to come and chime in. The budget also, hard copy is available. I think you can get that at the district, see the district clerk if anybody wants to check our numbers. And May 19th is the budget vote. So there'll be a lot on the budget. There'll be a lot on the vote, and in addition to just the budget, there'll be several propositions which we will go over as well here tonight. So let's get down to the dollars and cents. The estimated year-to-year tax increase for a typical house with a value of $230,000 would be approximately $63. So I think that's fairly reasonable. And the property tax cap, as I said, is still in effect, and as long as we stay under the 2%, we will get a refund from the state. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Frank Sheboy, who's going to talk to you about the pre-K program that we're going to establish that will be working this year.
As Ms. Kelly said, this is pretty much a rollover budget. We're not adding a whole lot of programs. Our cost increases, a lot of them are out of our control. There are two small items that we are adding. And when I say small, I'm actually talking about the children. As Mr. Howard said, you know, our intermediate school is a school in transition. It is titled a focus school, but it's a school in transition. So our hope is to add a little bit of support there, especially for children who need academic intervention services. So we're going to provide a staff member part-time to provide those services. In addition, about 5 years ago, the district was forced, like many school districts, to cut program. And one of those programs that we cut was our pre-K program. Not many school districts around have a pre-K program, but we cut ours. And our hope is that by adding that back, we'll increase the early literacy and early mathematics skills of our children, which will translate by the time they get into grades 3 through 8 all the way up into high school, into not only higher scores and higher performance, but children who are better able to go on to colleges and careers, and that's the focus. Our entire budget is responsible, but it's also children-centered, and I think that's a real important thing for the community to take away. So,
Thank you so
on that.
much.
Go into the transition for the impact aid.
Sorry. Thanks, guys. As well as the budget for this vote on the 19th, there's going to be 3 propositions on the ballot. Before I get into them, I just want to remind everybody, our ballot is always a 2-sided ballot. So on the front of the ballot will be the budget vote, and then the propositions, and then on the other side is voting for the board members. So we always remember to flip for ours, it's always double-sided. There are 3 propositions this year. As you remember, a few years ago, we've got a lot of support from our Senators Schumer and Gillibrand and from our Representative Maloney, and they were able to restore our special funding and our impact aid. So we got, it reached back actually a few years, and they made some recalculations, and they provided us that money that we had been missing for those back years. So we got a little bit of a nest egg now. It's a one-time shot. And what we would like to do with that money, since it's a one-time shot, is to invest it in the infrastructure in the schools and to do some capital projects. We believe that's very responsible as a board to do that because we actually get aided on that money. We get, for every dollar we spend of that money, we'll get 73 cents back. So it'll provide us that sustaining ability to keep our buildings in shape over the course of the next few decades, which is really good. So the 3 propositions on the ballot, the first is to take that money and to create a capital reserve. This is a very financial instrument. It's just basically we want to open a bank account to put money in order to do capital projects. This one proposition doesn't allow us to spend anything. It just allows us to put money in a special savings account to help the infrastructure in our buildings. So that's the first one. And the second one is actually to start spending some of the money from that capital reserve. And the first program that we want to do is to work on the intermediate school. Since we moved the children from the 3rd and 4th grade school and we closed that school, moved them across the street, those 3rd and 4th graders, there's no playground at our intermediate school. There's a basketball court that's seen better days and a track and a mud field. And that's pretty much all that our kids have when they go outside to play. Also, there's some things in need of repair inside the building. So the second proposition is a capital project to put in a modest playground. We're also going to add some exercise stations around the track for the community members as they use it throughout the year. I think that's a really good idea for some of the seniors. They can go and walk on that track and there's little exercise stations around. And then there's also going to be some gazebos outside, so we can actually bring some of the classrooms outside during the day, and they'll have a place to be protected from the sun or the rain. We're also going to put a security vestibule in that school. If you've ever walked into the main entrance of that building, as you get buzzed in, there's a little video monitor, you get buzzed in, and you basically enter right into the main hallway, and no one can stop you as you walk in the building. So we're going to put a little security vestibule, so you get brought into a little station, and then you have to actually talk to someone through a window so they can physically see you and make sure that you're safe. And then they can buzz you into the school. And then you can have access once they know why you're there. There's also some upgrades in the gymnasium that we're going to do to make sure that we're keeping the children safe there. The third proposition is related to transportation. We have been having the same exact transportation policy in which children we bus to all 3 of our schools since at least the 80s. That's how far back we looked, and it's been pretty much the same over the last 30 years or so. We right now bus children that all of the children for the elementary school in the fort. We bus all of the children to the high school, and we bus all of the children that live further from the intermediate school, further than 0.7 miles. So that's the policy we've been going by. The state has different limits. The state actually has limits that say for an elementary school or for an intermediate school, you only bus children that are further than 2 miles away. Obviously, that would open up a great number of children in our community to have to walk to school. The 2-mile limit from intermediate school is all the way down on Old 9W or the old state road there, the trailer park. That would be the limit. Those kids would have to walk to the intermediate school. And as you can imagine, at the Fort School, seeing the now pre-K through second graders walk on 9W would be terrifying to me. Also, although the kids are older at the high school, every single one of them would have to walk the ramps on 9W where there are no sidewalks. So what we're doing with this proposition is we're asking the voters if we can keep the policy we currently have. When we made the change to this policy, I think we did it very smartly and safely, but the problem is we never got a proposition. So that's what we need to do. We need to go out with a proposition and have the voters approve it. If that, just so you're aware, if that proposition does fail, we'll have to revert to the state limits. So we'll have to have all students within a 2-mile radius of the elementary school and the intermediate school become walkers, and it's a 3-mile radius for the high school. So those are the 3 propositions we have on the ballot, and I will note to all of you that none of those propositions actually raise your taxes a penny. They're all completely funded currently. Is there any questions on those? It's a lot, I'm sorry. But I thank you guys for the time.
Ms. Fidel is going to be leaving the board because she's accepted a position elsewhere. She left her name off with Schumer and Maloney. There is no doubt we were going to miss you, but thank you so much for all the hard work you did on the impact aid. So I'm going to put you in the same group, Schumer, Maloney.
Okay, I'll take that.
Thank you so much for that work. Thank you.
I just want to say one thing. I've only been on the board for a couple of years, and the board has worked diligently to keep taxes down. This increase is one of the lesser, or one of the few. The increase is words escape me. It's the lesser increase for a number of years. The main thing is we have to get the people out there to vote, to come out and vote on the budget. The propositions, as mentioned before, will not raise taxes. Monies are there. We're going to get money back from the state, and this is a golden opportunity for us to build something. And I truly believe if you build something, they will come, and I think that will probably help the community, the town, and the area, attracting people into our community. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
With that, a lot of times when there are particular propositions with the school board, people will have the grumblings and, make sure we get out so we can vote against it. There are several important propositions going up, so even though you may think, it's not a real crucial year, if you don't come out and vote, and you have a child, and they end up having to walk 2 miles to school, you may have wanted to think twice about not voting. No matter whether you're for or against the budget, for or against the propositions, it's time that everyone starts to stand up and be heard in the community. And as important as all the propositions are, I don't know how they consider an elementary school walking 2 miles, an elementary schooler walking 2 miles to school. That's beyond me. So if that's voted down, that's law. So if you care about the 6, 7, and 8-year-olds, come out to vote, and make sure you vote to keep the way it is.
The 4-year-olds.
Yeah, the 4-year-olds. It's only 2 miles. It's not that bad.
Just a really minor housekeeping thing, but for the purposes of going on the record, in our minutes, the last 2 years, we have talked to the school board about the taxable status of Bog Meadow, our watershed. And at the last meeting, all 3 of us attended, the school seemed to be receptive that going forward next year, there may be an opportunity of removing the tax on our water supply, which is sort of a double taxation for the same group of taxpayers. So I understand that there will be a tickler put into Mr. Cahill's files for next year, and I would like our minutes to reflect that we have approached the school and we will hope for a good resolution next year.
See how nice she just slid that in? That's what she's good at. I would make that look horrible. That was excellent. Fantastic. Moving on, this time I want to invite Eric and Elizabeth up. They are from Capacity Business Consulting. Elizabeth is actually a member of our community. Come on up. Elizabeth is actually a member of our community, and they have many different offerings, but one of the things that we are looking for now that's been done in the past, and we are pulling up those records as well, but it always needs to be looked at moving forward, is a general plan for this village. Not only a master plan, but moving forward. I'm going to let them explain exactly what they can offer our community. Please.
And I'm going to start with a consolidation, yes?
Yes.
So we did a proposal because we understand that the village and the town are considering consolidation, or shared services is really the accepted terminology. And you guys are applying for two $50,000 grants that I don't know whereabouts they are in the process, but essentially those grants would pay all of our fees if you voted for us to do the study. The study, just to explain how it works, it's essentially, I'm gonna oversimplify it, it's not complicated really, it just takes a lot of time. So essentially, we just have to go in and identify all the services from the village and all the services from the town, and then go in and figure out, what's missing. There's a lot of interviews that would take place, interviews with all the leaders of all the departments, employees of the departments. There's a questionnaire that would go out to them first, and really help us. The key is when you bring them together to do it right, to do it properly, not just to do it. Right? Not just looking to save money, not just looking to do any one thing, but to consolidate it so that it makes sense. Our firm, just to give you some background, I've owned it for 15 years, Capacity Consulting. We've done everything from built insurance companies on the West Coast from scratch to doing consolidations to we helped Sullivan County get the casino. If anybody heard of that, we did a huge study for them that went up to Albany and helped prove that Sullivan County would be the best pick to meet the legislative criteria that the casinos were built on. I tell you that because everything that we do is based on research and objectivity. We're not, we have a proposal that was sent to the mayor. We don't get involved in the politics. That's not what we do. We can kind of advise how some of it might happen as we go through it, but we don't really get involved in that. We just do the research and come back and say, here's how the two communities can combine all their services, here's what it might look like, here's our suggestions, here's budget pro formas going forward to see what it would look like financially, and then we would compare that and the village and the town individually to the standards in the state. So you can kind of see where we came up with all of it. So, the other thing that Mayor Flynn was talking about was that ideally, after that's done, you probably should look at a master plan. That would come second, and then concurrently, depending on how the master plan looks, a strategic marketing plan. And the strategic marketing plan would be specifically designed to try to draw business and revenue back to hopefully the consolidated town and village at that point. That's all I got, unless anybody has questions.
Questions? One of the reasons after being approached by Elizabeth was actually the third was the main reason why we were talking. And then when we met and started talking about consolidation and how they can actually help us make that happen, it's they have a lot to offer. but that was also one of the main things. Bottom line, a lot of people don't understand why we're not rolling in cash in this town, because we have so many people that come into West Point, and how do we not making a ton of money? Well, the people here actually work every day, so we can't stop to do these kind of studies that are really necessary to figure out why aren't we making more money from the traffic? How can we pull in other dollars? How can we, and that's why I believe that it's very important to bring in an outside agency, that, because we're too close to the picture, and we're too close to some of the history that may prevent us from seeing what the solutions are. So this, I'm excited to have the proposals from this company. I'm gonna make sure the board has all the proposals, and we're gonna look them over and move forward. And as soon as the grants come in, I'm hoping that we can talk again
Yeah, great.
soon.
Oh, I think the consolidated grant application is going to be available in June.
Right.
In the interest of full disclosure, the Shared Services Municipal Grant Program started under my supervision at the Department of State. Have you done any of the shared services grants for other communities?
We've not specifically done those, and they used to be called something different back when they first came out. They've changed them, but we haven't done those specifically.
Well, they're called LGE now.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But it's the same, they're based on the same concept of, and this is actually, we would tout this as a benefit when we do municipal services, is that if people look at municipalities like a business, instead of like a municipality or a government, especially when it comes to something like this, it's actually a benefit. So we can do them like everybody else does them all day long, but we would actually do them with a little bit more of a business mind.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Good to go. Just quick, still have some of our Board of Ed people here. The school did put on a fantastic Olympic event this past week. They did ask several people from the community to participate in the torch run. The garrison commander, Dr. Sheboy, several other members ran the torch, and then the students had several events, and it was very, very interesting to watch, and very exciting, because the teacher involved made so much more of the lesson by doing it the way she did it, and got the kids more excited about learning about history. They actually had they had individual groups that represented different cities in Greece, and they were cheering for their own city, and they learned about their own city, and then they actually had the events on the field. As Brian said in transition, this is definitely one of the examples of how they're taking the education forward. And not only, to me, it's not about the focus group, it's about how soon, not if, but how soon we get the Blue Ribbon awards, and how soon that our district is on top, rather than in the middle, or fifth, or eighth, or whatever. Because I believe that's what this group is shooting for now. They're not shooting to make standards. They're not shooting to meet the criteria. They're shooting to exceed it. They're shooting to be the best, and I think we're gonna see it in our children. So I wanna take my hat off to Pat Kelly, the board, and the entire school district for turning this around in just a few years. The art walk is on us. The art walk is here, and we have a lot of exciting sculptures that are going up. The official opening is not till the 15th, but you can see a lot of the sculptures along Main Street. We do have our garden club here with us tonight, and I know they will be getting up during the open discussion. I do want to let them know, as well as the community, that it was a serious miscommunication between the group putting in the sculptures and the village, and that your fountain is at the village garage. You know exactly where it is, safe, covered, ready to go. And we have talked to the people of the Art Walk about making sure they can get the person that actually, we have to have the official person that picks them up and puts them down for insurance purposes. So they're getting a hold of him to make sure that they can have it and find another location. That's what we're working on right now, as soon as possible. And so the apology comes not only from them, but from us for miscommunication, because we weren't aware that that's what their intentions were when they said they were gonna, I thought they were putting it next to the garden, not on the garden. So, and I still would love to hear from everyone. And actually, I would love for you to introduce yourself, because the Garden Club is a very important group in our town. And I believe, and I know I always get reprimanded for talking about the fact that the younger community needs to get involved. And the people in the group are like, what's wrong with us? Well, what's wrong with a lot of our groups is that they've held the torch for 20, 30, and 40 years. And they shouldn't be doing the heavy lifting now. I'm not talking about the Garden Club, I'm talking about every group here. But now the Garden Club is here. Phenomenal group that has kept the beautification of the village going. And really, I'm hoping that you do stand up so that people can see you and possibly get more involved. If you don't know who to get involved in, you can contact us, we'll get you the numbers for the Garden Club. But it's a group that's well worth joining and can make and is making a serious difference and can do more with more members. So, just to give you that information during my report, and if you have any other questions, feel free during open comments. Moving on to discussion. We have this was submitted, a bill back by Kevin Hurst for a lateral that was collapsed. And you have the bill here and his notes. We also have some notes on the bottom. I agree that we need to have the actual amount paid. But if as long as we get that, are there any questions as far as moving forward on this?
I spoke with it today.
Okay. But we're not gonna pay anything without actually having the bill. We're not gonna pay with quote. So we'll bring that down into new business when we have, which is actually where we're at. So we can start with that. Do I have a motion to pay the bill upon receipt of the actual bill for this lateral? Do I have a motion? Charlie, second? All those in favor? Opposed? Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes as written board meeting for April 20th, 2015. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion.
Second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? This is the resolution for what, the CDBG application? CDBG application, resolution, is that, that's right. Just to note, the proper notice was given in the paper for this. This is for the CDBG application for 2016. Whereas the Village of Highland Falls actively pursues grant opportunities, whereas the village seeks funds through the CDBG 2016 funding application, whereas the application must be submitted by May 29, 2015 to be eligible for consideration of this grant. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village of Highland Falls is hereby submitting its application for consideration under the fiscal year 16 Orange Urban County Consortium Community Development Program, and that the chief elected official or executive officer is hereby authorized to submit this application. They further certify that they have read and understood the Orange Urban County Consortium Community Development Guidelines for the year 2016 program year, and have met all its applicable requirements, and that the information contained in the application is current and true to the best of their knowledge. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? Roll call?
Roll call, trustee Alward,
Aye.
trustee Murphy,
Aye.
Mayor Flynn.
Aye. I have another resolution from Chief Scott. for the vehicle and traffic handicap spot on 6 Liberty. Whereas the Board of Trustees is authorized and empowered to make and amend by resolution any rule of regulation for the reasonable control of traffic on the public streets of the village pursuant to section 108-3 of the Code of the Village of Highland Falls. Now therefore, it is resolved by the Board of Trustees as follows. This is a type 2 action under seeker. That section 108-71 handicap parking be amended to include the following. Name of the street, Liberty Street, side east, location, beginning at point 57 feet north of the northeast corner of Liberty Street and Schneider Avenue and continuing for a distance of 20 feet north. Be it further resolved that the foregoing amendment as contained in this resolution shall become effective immediately upon publication of same in the official newspaper of the village. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second? Roll call.
Roll call, trustee Alward.
Aye.
Trustee Murphy.
Aye.
Mayor Flynn.
I have a
Aye.
question quickly. Is the chief still here? Now, in a case like this, it's because of, a serious handicapping condition. When individuals move, and we have established a handicap parking space, do those go back? Is there a system where we know that it's no longer needed throughout the village?
Yeah, upon finding that out, we just do another resolution to amend the statute, have it removed.
I think what Charlie's asking is, do we have some kind of a procedure checking on all the handicap spots that we have
Like have
now? Like once a year, twice a year, do we go through and make sure they're actually still being used by those people? Or has that person moved and they, okay, then we need to do that? Right? Is that what you're asking?
Yes, thank you.
That only because that's become exactly what happened up on the one off of Cousins, where the one end wasn't being used anymore, we moved it back to someone's the other end.
Yeah.
Right. So if we can put that together, that'd be great. At least one annual, biannual review
At least once a year.
of the spots.
Yep.
Thank you so much. We have, we need to authorize the mayor to sign the Orange County BOCES contract with the village police department. Has everyone read that? Is everyone okay with that? Bill, you kinda made a little,
No, just
You
a
sure?
motion. No, you need the motion.
oh, I know, I just wasn't sure if you kinda felt like you wanted to throw something out, no?
No, no.
Okay. Do I have a motion to authorize me to sign the Orange County BOCES contract with the village police department?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And he didn't make it, and I'm actually very upset. Let's see here. What is Walter's resignation? But we're doing it tonight? Okay. I was actually hoping that Walter could be here. This resignation is a little different, because he's actually just moving, and he's actually got another job down south where his family had moved. So it's not like a part-time or leave a full-time job or anything. Walter's been with us for a long time and been very effective in the village DPW. And I am going to accept his resignation with regret. And, but wish him and his family very well
Thank you.
on their new endeavors in South Carolina, I believe. This is it? 11.5 years he's been with DPW, and he's done a lot of good things for the community, not just as DPW. He's involved in Boy Scouts, he's involved in coaching, he's involved in a lot of different community activities, as was his wife. They will be missed, and again, we wish them well. Do I have a motion to accept the resignation of Walter Ford, DPW mechanic, effective May 6th?
Motion.
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now we have a retirement. And this again, James Lavelle, been with us for many years. Very effective on our streets, very effective dealing with problems that we have here in the village. He will be missed as well. I need a motion to accept the retirement of James Lavelle as police sergeant effective April 30th, 2015.
Motion with real regret.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I have a request from the Highland Falls Fire Department Reserve Municipal Lot 1 from 7 PM to 11:30 PM on May 30th for a Comedy Night fundraiser. I am going to amend that request right off the bat and say, what do we say?
Oh, we were talking about,
30, 40,
oh, at least 60.
60 spots. Not the entire lot.
But that it needs to be posted, probably posted the night before.
Definitely posted the night before.
Yeah. So we're sure that the
To clear
vehicles
by
that do park
2?
there overnight are
Right.
clear.
To clear by 2 or 4.
Let's make it 2 to be on the safe
Just to be on
side.
the safe side.
Because this is, last year it sold out, it was a capacity crowd, so the space is needed.
Okay, the only thing we ask, and as you said, you utilize all the spots, we wanna make sure that we're not taking too many spots away from the municipal area. So just make sure we get a short report back of everything, all spots we leave for the fire department. And maybe there was way too much parking on the street. Next year, we probably need 10 more spots if we book out again. Okay, that way, again, just to keep an eye on what's needed so that we meet that need. With those changes, 60 spots posted the night before to be clear by 2 o'clock. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have an event for senior citizens to enjoy their child. Are we?
It's an awareness.
Okay, we are. This is more of an awareness than an actual approval, which, for insurance and whatnot. This is just a group of seniors that are going to be utilizing Sergeant Banks's park. It's more of an awareness so that our police and DPW and whatnot know that they will be there in case they need some additional help. And that is June 12th, starting at 12 p.m. I have a budget amendment. Okay. I have a budget amendment. Whereas a donation of $1,000 has been received from Mount St. Mary College for the art walk, and whereas this revenue has been designated to offset the cost of the art walk, now therefore be it resolved that due to an unanticipated revenue, the Board of Trustees approve an amendment to increase the appropriation budget A7120.04 beautification to $1,000, and the revenue code A2705 gifts and donation for $1,000 for fiscal year 2014-15. Do I have a motion? Second? Roll call?
Roll call, trustee Alward,
Aye.
trustee Murphy.
Aye.
Mayor Flynn.
Aye. Then a motion to accept the bills and claims for fiscal year 14-15 in the amount of $135,546.46.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Reminder, our next meeting, we skipped,
Public.
no.
For your comedy night.
Oh, we did that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm on that.
But don't we need,
Under discussion, Ed wanted a special meeting on Monday, the 11th. Not really keen on that. I don't know if you guys are up for it. For the incentive efficiency certification. Want to just try and enter a meeting, or do you want to have a special meeting?
I would do it after one for a regular.
I like your, Brian,
Yes.
Okay.
fantastic.
We did have one other item of business. We wanted to authorize the engineer to put together specs for
Yes,
the senior.
senior center.
Yeah.
Go ahead, roll that out.
I make the motion that we authorize the engineer to put together the spec sheets so we can get moving on some of the repairs and renovations at the senior center.
So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Reminder, next meeting is Monday, May 18th, 2015, 7 PM. Public comment. Yes.
We're only part of the Garden Club, there are more of us. And thank you so much, Mayor Flynn. I know I've been harassing you all week, but we really appreciate all that you've done to help us get the garden ready so we can plant it. Pat Riddell is one of our founding members of the Garden Club from 1979. She's been a former president, former treasurer, former secretary, former everything. She knows it all. And without her, our town wouldn't be as beautiful as it is, and I just want to publicly thank her for all she has done. Fred Nasser, all these ladies really, really work hard, and we love our town, so we're all for beautification, and we want to help any way we can. We were just a little upset about tulips.
And it wasn't anything out there, again, it was more of a miscommunication than anything. And you weren't coming at me at all. That's what we need. The problem that we have is not enough people do what you're doing. Not enough people step up and actually say there's a problem. They just sit back, talk amongst themselves, get angry, and then the problem festers. Maybe 3 years it goes away, maybe it doesn't. We're looking for people to stand up. And I gotta tell you, one of the messages I got this morning kind of scared me. Very happy she called, but it was a very frightening message. But called her back, dealt with it, she's much happier. But you need answers, and that's the bottom line. Ms. Rydell.
During the process of putting this monument in the Garden Club, they put a huge round base, about 4 inches thick of cement, which has killed all the chrysanthemums that we put in around the base of the fountain. In addition, they stomped on the tulips. It's a mess. And I wonder whoever did that should not reimburse us to replace those flowers that have been ruined.
That's a great question that I have an answer to already. Because I already asked for $500, I don't know if that's gonna do it, to go to the Garden Club to assist in that. And I got a yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so just, also, so the Garden Club knows, we put, for the first time in many years, we put several $1,000s in the beautification fund. Several of you, I'm sure know, we started a beautification committee, which we're looking for all groups involved in that to be part of it, so that we can do a better coordination and make sure, for example, who's taking care of that planter, who's doing that, so it's all coordinated among the groups. Everything's being taken care of and paid for. And the other big thing is, that this group is concerned with, particularly with summer coming on, is the watering, is the time and effort and money you put in to the actual plantings to make sure they don't die in the middle of July. So that's another big piece that we're working on now, to make sure that the entire area that is planted and taken care of is watered properly. So I know that the group is actually growing to about 12 now, and everyone's invited. Please get a hold of Bobby Pollock. And right now there's 3 different groups and then several individuals, including General Caslin's wife's very interested. I want to try and get more of the West Point women involved so that we can bridge even more area. And again, there's more money, there's more people, so I'm excited that she wants to be involved in the group as well. But that's the contact will be Bobby Pollock for the next meeting.
When this garden club was formed in 1979, 4 of us, Gladys Hannigan, Grace Forbert, Andrea Leach, who was a West Point resident, and myself. And the 4 of us started in '79.
Perfect.
And we're still going strong 35 years later. But they're all gone. I'm the only one left, so this is my baby.
You are going strong.
And,
But that's exactly why I wanna make sure, and that's the point, one of the points of the beautification committee, is recruitment. Is that, is one of the problems, I think, is that people don't understand that there is it's an open door. You don't have to know the secret handshake, you don't have to, do you wanna be a part of it? Just say, I wanna be a part of it, and come out and actually help us plan. So that's my goal, one of the goals in this administration is to get these organizations built back up to where, when I'm at that point, I don't wanna be doing the lifting. I just wanna be, to watch when they do the Christmas decorations, and to watch the people that are lifting and moving, and I'm just kinda like, can I do, no, please put that down. It's time that, more direction, and there's so much more we can do. That's the problem. That we're just maintaining a lot of things because that's all the time we have or all the resources we have. What we really wanna do is allow you more resources and more money, so that you can meet more of what you really want to see happen here. Not of just, well, we're gonna maintain what we have because that's all the cash we have. No, what did you wanna see happen over the last 3 years? The next 3 years, the next 5 years. And I want that as part of the whole, big picture as we look to see where we're going with the village and the town. Not just 4 more plants here, but a cascading cascading waterfall with it. There's a lot of options out there, and I think you guys have what it takes. I definitely don't, but you have what it takes, and I just want to try and give you the tools so that we can get it done.
I have a question. The $500 that you mentioned, how will that be handled? Is that going?
Very gingerly.
Is that going into the beautification line? Is it going directly to the garden club?
It's in the beautification line. It's going to go to the garden club. It was already donated by Eisenhower Leadership.
Okay,
And
so.
they asked us to donate that to the garden club. And I didn't have a chance to put it on this agenda, but I'm hoping that the board will be with me when we move that to the garden club. It'll be given to the garden club, not just, it won't be in the beautification line.
Okay, so the
It will
garden
be
club.
actually given to the garden club, so that the garden club will decide how the $500 is spent.
Yeah, can we do it tonight?
That's why Brian Otto was a special board member, he gets things done.
Another thing, if anyone is interested, the garden club meets the second Thursday of every month in the upstairs room in the town hall. As you said, all are welcome.
And if anybody wants to sign up tonight, I'll take your email and call you and put you on our list.
Ramos is looking like he wants to sign up, I don't know, he's got that look on his face.
And
Yeah, we're fun. We give snacks too.
just a little piece of, in case the board members are not aware. Both planters, the one on the north end and the one with the, fountain, the garden club raised the money, the majority of the money to pay for those planters and have them
Permanent.
installed.
They're permanent. In the past, they've been logs, stones, anything, timber. We voted to raise funds to make them permanent gardens. And it was very expensive. It was very expensive, but they are in the last. So that's why we get upset. I wonder how long it's going to take these people to move that duty honor country. That they take our fountain and then they put, a cadet does not lie, cheat, or steal. Where's our fountain?
It's at the village garage.
Well, now I have that written down here, fountain.
Right, and I do have to say, and I understand your anxiety, but I do have to say that the people that are putting on the art walk have really put a ton of work in, and we're already seeing people that don't know that I'm the mayor, people that have come into the shop, or they see that there's people are buzzing about it already, and I think it's going to be a very positive thing for the community. It's new. You crack a couple eggs, but the Eisenhower Leadership Group really wants to do everything they can to better this community, and they're putting a lot of effort into it. So, she was horrified, about the miscommunication, and that's why she, right off the bat, said, do whatever we can to help. I know that she's already trying to get a hold of the person, she said she's already.
Is this the lady in the Eisenhower?
Yes, Dr. Hess.
They say
Shay.
Eisenhower
Shay.
at West Point, and here it is, right here in Island Falls.
And isn't that awesome, because they're doing it, paying for a storefront and bringing more leadership into the community. Thank you for pointing that out.
We will be meeting tomorrow at 3 o'clock with them. We'll be meeting with the leadership tomorrow at 3 o'clock. I will remind them about this.
Because we're anxious to have our work day at the garden, clean it up. The graduation is early this year. Yes.
I just wanted to say, with the exception of the havoc that was created by the artwork folks to the Garden Club, I would like to commend Nicole Shea, who is putting this whole thing together. This is a very exciting time. This is an awesome thing, whether you like art. I mean, I saw the stuff going in Lady Cliff Park, and not only that, but she's also organized the high school. She's invited everybody to participate in this. And, you know, we have outstanding art students at both the high school and the intermediate school. And their art is usually up for spring concert for 15 minutes on the wall, and then it's gone. So hopefully, through Nicole Shea and the Eisenhower Center, you know, she's seeking out locations where she can put collections up permanently. And I just think it's exciting to have the artist energy in this village. I think it'll do wonders for us. And I know there's a lot of hard work. And as a first time, yeah, I'm sure there were sensitivities that were crossed big time. But I hope we can iron those things out. And again, Nicole Shea has done an outstanding job. I'm really looking forward to seeing all the student work. She invited the Storm King School as well. All the art teachers got the art teachers together. So this is the beginning of something really wonderful in our community.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
We don't have any complaints
sure.
with that.
No, it's just how it all happened. Exactly.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was really
Right,
I understand. I understand.
shocking.
Yeah.
We went out to Vernon, New Jersey, and Shirley Vanzetta and Jew and myself and bought that fountain, we got that fountain.
Sure,
Yeah, we did the same.
sure. I'm sure you were shocked, but I think it will be straightened out.
I agree, and with the exception of that one, which we're gonna try and take care of as soon as possible, just so we're aware, this isn't permanent art that's staying here. There's actually, will be taken away in November. They don't wanna be here for the winter season, for fear of the damage. So there's, just to understand that as far as the other pieces, where everyone's like, oh, there's gonna be, in November, they're gonna take them out. Then they will reevaluate, and all new pieces will be looked to be possibly brought back in the following May. So depending on how things go and how things progress, there'll be a whole different group coming in following May, and each year, new artists, new sculptures. There was also a question of why it looks like the majority of the artwork is facing the West Point Highway as you walk down. Just so you know, the majority, if we have, say, Saturday, when all the cars are parked on Main Street, you actually won't be able to see a majority of the art with just cars, let alone vans or trucks. So if they faced it toward the Main Street and cars were parked on the road, you wouldn't actually be able to see the majority of the art. Their focus was, as we brought up by Capacity Business Consulting, how do we try to pull more of this business into the village? So that was our goal also, is all these people that are going into West Point, down West Point Highway, they see this, their goal is that they will come and investigate the rest of the art in the village. So it's not just they're looking to put up a couple pieces, they're actually looking to improve the look and improve the economics of the village, and so a lot of different things. And I know you're not against it, you're just concerned about the fountain, and you're concerned about your garden, and you should be.
Like our garden back.
And it's a beautiful thing. And we're gonna work as quickly as we can to take care of that.
Can we make a motion to approve
Yes.
an appropriation out of, I guess it's A 7120.04,
Beautification fund.
for $500 to be made out to the Phillipstown Garden Club. Is that?
No, way to try to pull that off, Charlie, that was nice. Trying to get a separate
Sorry,
account
I
over
used to
Phillipstown, I don't know what's going on.
Be part of the Phillipstown Garden Club.
Nice.
W.
So moved.
They, in my defense, they're contributing planters for the library gala, so
Nice. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
I,
Opposed? There you go. Any other comments? Yes.
This is a comment talking about the consolidation and business plan. Has the systems engineering capstone group at West Point been contacted?
Yes.
Okay.
They actually, the consolidation as well as several other projects have been brought up. They're on their third different project for the community. And that's actually the meeting that Brian was just talking about. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we'll have the cadets at Eisenhower Leadership that are working on their capstone project. And we're gonna recognize them for what they've done. The second one, I believe, a large part of their project was the art walk. The first group was the formation of the Community Outreach Committee as well as the Business Improvement Committee. And now the Business Improvement Committee that has been doing fairly well, meeting and moving forward, is now merging with the Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce needs the extra bolster. So they're merging, and that is actually going, I'm excited about that for the revitalization. So, yes, and that's always been, that was their piece, and we give them suggestions, and then the cadets pick basically what they want to do. But yes, they have. Thank you. Any other comment? Any other comment? Any other comment? Any other comment? Jimmy Ramus.
Good evening, Mayor.
Good evening.
Quick question. Actually, let me start off on a good note. We are continuing to work on a zoning book. We're about halfway through. People that we have doing this, we get together once a month, and it's going quite well. We should have a document together for review maybe before the end of the year. That's our goal for sure.
Excellent.
And then we can put it out there to the general public, and they get comments not only from them, but also from the attorneys, on all four attorneys, the village attorney, planning board attorneys, and the town attorneys, and the engineers. So we're, trying to move a step forward in that. The zoning is, a lot of it overlaps, so the better we can get the zoning portion of the code together, the better we feel the community is gonna be as a whole.
Just real quick on that, in case people aren't aware, about a dozen people have come together from the town, the village, and from the county. County is giving us free assistance as well, of updating our codes. Oh, that's different.
The zoning portion of the
Okay.
code.
Okay.
That's what everybody gets confused about that.
Ah.
I have to just inform them, we're just working on, we were to work on that whole book, it would be a long time. So let's work on the zoning portion first.
Which is huge. It's they're really cutting through a lot of things that shouldn't be, should have been gone 20, 30 years ago. So the work that this group is doing is fantastic for the village.
Or things that should be added.
Exactly.
I.e. a fitness center that wasn't in, then it goes for interpretation, has to go before the zoning board. So, if we can look at new businesses that have evolved since the code has been written, maybe we can get them put into the code so they don't have to go before the zoning board, and it can streamline the process of new businesses and entrepreneurs coming in. So big plus.
Councilwoman Gunza has been attending regularly, representing the town board too.
Excellent.
And then when I was in the back, I heard CPC talking about consolidation, correct?
CBC?
CPC? CPC?
CBC.
CBC.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
I missed one of the
CC.
lower
Gotcha,
loops. I missed the
exactly.
lower loops. Sorry about
Capacity,
that.
that's easy.
All right, so Only because at the town board meeting, I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch it on TV. But anyway, they wanted to tap you on the shoulder, make you turn around, you know, nice and gentle, because they want to continue to move forward with that. They were just wondering, about the village's progress.
We're
For
waiting,
sure.
we're basically waiting on the grant.
Okay, no, I'm just letting you know. So-
Once the grants come through, here's the thing. I actually talked to Bob the other day.
Good.
We really, we talk on a regular basis, but the other day, we kind of made the conversation of, with the size of our town, with the way it is and whatnot, the two of us really feel it's not as difficult as everyone's making it out to be. But that's exactly why you hire a firm, because we don't see all the ins and outs. Everything's gotta be, as they said, done right. And I think between the two boards, the town and village board, I bet we can come close. But close isn't good enough to get it done right, particularly when we're not utilizing tax dollars, we're utilizing grant money. So, as soon as that comes in, and I've told that to Bob several times, as soon as that comes through, we're gonna move forward with getting a group to come in to do the study, and after the study's done, then we move forward.
Mayor, it should be noted that in applying for these grants, we can't do it individually.
Right.
We have to get a resolution from the town
Exactly.
as a partner in going forward.
So, along that line, and I know this is much further down the road, but my true question is, who's gonna be in charge of the budget and the structuring of the departments once the consolidation happens? It will be the town,
Once the
correct?
consolidation happens, town.
The town, right. So,
When the consolidation's over,
hmm?
then the village will be dissolved.
So, there's talk out there about having the police department issue, on the November ballot, correct?
There has to be a permissive referendum. We are, rather than dump everything, and again, this is a discussion, once a company comes in and gives us the full spectrum, rather than just tomorrow, I mean, I'm ready. I believe our board is ready. We can dissolve tomorrow. And then you need a referendum and a vote. But I don't think that's right to the town. I don't think that's right. So our goal and our thoughts were to go by department. So that's what we're looking at right now, and that's what we will be working with the company as it comes in. Police, the reason why police was on my agenda first was it's probably the easiest to see the savings, the streamlining, and the benefits. With the DPW, at this level, it's easy to see the benefits. Seeing the two DPWs periodically not being able to mesh because they're doing the same thing on the same day, rather than, say they're doing leaf collection, and they're both using the same piece of equipment, one piece either owned by the town or the village, rather than having that coordinated so that that one piece is being used every day for 2 weeks, and now we're not doing what we have to do and they have to do it. That's more streamlined, that's less cost.
Garbage pickup Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
So,
right, along that same line.
exactly. And then the other departments, as far as the planning, the clerks and the actual office of the village would be final.
But the private consultant is only gonna be able to give recommendations, correct?
Well, yeah,
Right, so, in essence, it's going to be the town that is going to be in charge. So, say we were to dissolve in November, just the police department, right? Just the police department. I was wondering if they had a contingency plan in place, because we're not gonna have any say in that anymore. So, I would like to.
actually,
at
you're
least-
wrong. You're 100% wrong.
So we will have a say, I thought we
Yes,
weren't gonna have a
no.
say.
You know why you'll have a say?
Come on.
Because you live in the town. That's one of the biggest problems that we have, is the mindset.
No,
We are an anomaly. The village, this village, is unlike many other villages in the state. We are bigger than the town. We are 2/3 of the town, which means as a villager, if the village felt that we really wanted something as Highland Falls, we have 2/3 of the vote, automatically. It's there. So the difference is, instead of coming to this building, we're gonna go down the street and go to the town hall and voice our opinion, ask for what we want, and be part of whatever committees are involved with the town. That's the only difference. It's just going down the street a block.
No, Mr. Mayor, I understand that. I know what you're saying, but my point is that the town board will be the one that sets the structure up. That's all I'm saying, for the new departments.
That's what, yeah.
Right, and that's all I'm saying, so that's why I'm asking, that I would hope that, say we voted to dissolve, right? In November, no, and we're done.
Well, let
So
me
then the
correct
town
myself. With the recommendations from the whatever company we go with, the town and village boards have already met. We've already started preliminary discussions. The town board has met several times talking about what their thoughts are on police consolidation, okay, as well as moving forward with other consolidations, I believe. It'll be a joint decision on both boards. Ultimately, it's gonna be on the town board, and bottom line, they're elected officials. We're elected, I'm okay giving up that control, because they were elected by the full town. So, but that's where I say, for those people in the village, and there are people in the village that feel that we're losing control. I don't. I think that we'll have as much control, if not more, as long as we participate in the government.
But, Mr. Mayor, the whole crust on the biscuit here is,
I like that.
I'm looking for, not a hard number, but a soft number, so we can find out what that soft number will be before the vote comes up.
Oh, it
And
has to.
then the village taxpayers can say, all right, right now, we're 58% on the combined fund, and the village is 42%. Just throwing them out there, we know they change assessments go up and down. So then the taxpayers would know approximately what they're gonna have to pay, what they previously paid and what they're gonna have to pay. That's all I'm asking.
And
You're gonna
all-
get more than a soft number. These companies that put things together, I keep doing that, these companies that put things together, I've understand they come very, very close to the actual numbers. Unless there's some other major thing that's unseen that they don't have the information for. So we will get numbers, and we will get a lot of different numbers.
It has to
That's all I
go
want.
down to minutia, like changing the lettering on vehicles and how much will that cost? And I've got,
Oh, yeah.
I was involved in one of these years ago in Putnam County. And it is extraordinary what is entailed. And you also don't necessarily gain a lot in savings right off the bat. I have no idea how this particular one's gonna come out. I would like to agree with the mayor that there will be significant tax savings. And more importantly, going forward, it should stabilize taxes so they don't go up as rapidly. So there's a leveling off. But all of that has to be spelled out before it makes sense to go to a referendum.
And the reason why we have to have a company do this is we can tell you what the knowledge we have from the state, the knowledge we have from other consolidated communities every day. I mean, we talk about it on a regular basis. But a majority of the community, though, I'm sure they trust me, are like, he's just throwing numbers out. Who is he? Where this company, that's what they do. And they have much harder numbers, they do this for a living, so that's why you bring them in. And as far as, and I don't wanna beat the dead horse, because I have the look already, right off the bat, yes, without 100%, we're gonna have savings. Are they gonna be in the millions? I don't believe so. But, speaking of millions, we have been given the information from the state that by consolidating individually, if we consolidate the police departments, we're eligible for $400,000, just for that. and that could be used for modifying buildings, for equipment, for vehicles. We consolidate DPW, another $400,000 just for that. And the goal on that would be to have a consolidated DPW building in one spot, combine everything, have it all there, again, so there's better management. Then, fully consolidated, which is why, though we are doing it in steps, I want to do it quickly, because the sooner we are fully consolidated, this is coming from the state, not something I read, not something I heard, directly from the state, we are eligible for between $800,000 to $1 million. Now, those $400,000 are to one time when we consolidate. But if we fully consolidate, we are eligible for $800,000 to $1 million, this community, that was the number he put out for us specifically, every year, while this program's available by the state. Yeah, that's a look that several people in the room had when we met with the boards, because this information is not so much out there. So, and 80% of that, 80%. So the people in Fort Montgomery that fear there's gonna be a huge increase, we're told from the state it's not like that. And in a couple of years, as Charlie said, it actually levels out. But this money is specifically going for that. You have to use 80%, whether we get $800,000 to $1 million, you have to use 80% of that specifically for tax reduction. So that if here's Highland Falls and here's Fort Montgomery when we start, and when we consolidate fully, all of a sudden Fort Montgomery goes up like this, the first thing that money goes for is to stabilize them back to where they were. And to stable us back, that's where that 80% of the $800,000 has got to go first. That's the rules of the state. Now, I don't think it's even close to dramatically going to be affected by that, 80% of that money. That's me. The other 20% and any additional money, not only are we going to stabilize and possibly lower the tax rate, plus the savings you're going to get from the consolidation, but now you're talking about a possible $100,000 to $200,000 every year on top for projects to bring down debt, for major projects, not to buy a car, not to buy a truck, not fireworks, but major projects. We have a serious infrastructure problem in the entire community, not just Highland Falls. There needs to be more infrastructure in Fort Montgomery, because we've just started developing the water and the sewer. Now they're going for a $3 million upgrade. So they're going to stay, their rates are going to stay the same, because they just finished paying off several million dollars that they had last. But,
Pat,
yeah,
I'll tell you right now, I live in Fort Montgomery, we have a well, we can't even drink the water. We can't use it for cooking, we have to buy water, or, we have to bring in water, because the well that we have, and everybody on
Okay.
our street is exactly the same, we can't use it.
so it's not just the village that needs, the entire town needs these improvements. This is extra money, non-tax dollars, that is going to be coming into the community to help us with our infrastructure, which has not been dealt with in more than the garden club's been together, and possibly before Miss Rydell was born. Okay? Oh yeah, some of this infrastructure. Telling you right now. And that's it. Any other comments?
Thanks for your answers.
No, Jim, bottom line, and you give me the look every time, but we need watchdogs, and that's what you are. You're always looking at what's going on here and what's going on there, and this is what we just talked about before. If people don't speak up, people aren't gonna know what's going on, and I thank you.
I'm glad to see a lot of young ladies here tonight.
It's a beautiful thing. Any board comment? No? Lastly, there was a problem up at the Little League field. I believe there's people talking about it. There was some theft at the concession stand. They're working on dealing with it. Our boys were very upset about it. My wife and I are going to be donating a camera system. We've coordinated with Chief Scott to have that put in. Just so, for those that are wondering what's going on, that's one way that we're going to hopefully stop some issues up there. So it's going to be a remote system. We're going to try to make sure we hook it in with the police department so that it can be looked at there as well. Just to give, it was supposed to be a surprise, but the head of the group not got back from the game. So I don't want to wait. We want to get the cameras in. We want to get them up. and we'll see what happens. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second,
All's in favor?
aye.
Opposed? Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.